Time now for Hitting the Greens. We have our PGA professional with us today, Brian Earls from the Foundation Golf Center. We're at the Golf Club of Coldwater. Our guest today, Dave Sattler from the city of Coldwater, and we are going to learn how to get out of the sand the right way, because Dave got in here, he said, well, let me just practice, and he sent one a mile that way, which is probably what I would do too.
Maybe.
But you got some tips and techniques for us, and then what Dave and I are going to do is we'll get in here and Brian can evaluate what we're doing right or wrong. Mostly right, right?
Mostly right, yeah.
Exactly right. And then we'll have our Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge with Dave and I, and that'll be later on the show. Dave has a chance to win some prizes. So with that, Brian, let's talk about being in the sand. This is just a regular lie, ball rolled into the sand. Give us some tips. Let's get on down here and do it.
Yeah, you know, the first thing is a lot of us, we overcomplicate things. And when we get into the sand, you're going to start feeling right away most importantly, you're going to test the soil. You know, you're going to want to know what you're standing on. And there's some sand traps or bunkers that you'll step in that you'll sink in right away. And you'll go down 2-3 inches before you even make your first step, all right? Now here in Coldwater, we don't have as much sand in the bunker, so it's a firmer soil, firmer sand right away. And that's going to kind of dictate the way you make a swing at the ball and the way we lay our club open. Now here I have a 60-degree wedge that I use for this type of shot, and it's a Ping Tour S wedge, 60 degrees, and you know, we're going to use this because I want to get as much loft as possible out of this bunker with the higher face and with a pin that's pretty close to the edge of the green there. A lot of people use sand wedge at 56 degrees or a 54-degree sand wedge, but to go a little less than that, you're just not going to get the height on it that's required for this type of shot. So we want to look at that first. As far as the fundamentals of the stroke itself, a lot of times when we get up to it, we're not going to line up directly at the hole. We'll line up slightly left of the hole and make a swing that cuts across the ball a little bit. I like to draw lines in the sand to kind of give me an idea if I'm practicing where the target is. Now obviously you can't do this on the course, but when you practice, if you can draw one line at the hole and one line across it, it'll get you an idea of how you want to swing at the ball.
Are you going to open up your stance, or how are you going to hit it?
Exactly. I open up, probably aim, you know, depending on the shot, I'll aim, you know, a good 5 to 10 yards left of my target on most situations here.
And why is that?
Because when I'm coming through, I'll make it a little bit of an abbreviated follow through. And when I do that, my body will then aim at the target versus my full turn where I turn more through it. Therefore, if I don't get that full turn, I'll leave it out to the right a little bit where the target is. Are you going to
try to dig in a little bit more?
Yeah, you know, when I set in, I always try to dig my feet in. The idea is that when you're hitting the ball out of the sand, you don't want to hit the ball. You hit slightly behind it, trail underneath it, and the sand will push the ball out of the sand trap. So when we do that, by digging in, I change the bottom of the swing to about a ½ inch lower than would it normally be, so I can get underneath the ball rather than hitting it before I hit the sand.
All right. So can we have our golf professional give us a couple of shots?
Yeah, let me make one point about the difference in the sand before we get to that point. When you normally, if you're in a really thick sand, really a lot of sand, and it's soft, kind of like the Florida sand, you usually want to open the club face up more to get more bounce on the ball, all right? Or more bounce on the club, so that when it hits the sand, the club will bounce out of it. All right. Now this sand, because there's not a lot of sand, we don't want to open up the face as much, so it'll dig down into the sand and we can go a little lower underneath the ball. Okay. If you try to lay it open here, you hit behind it, it'll skip right into the ball and you'll hit it 50 yards over the green as Dave did. So we want to get down in it. We want to get down in a little bit better. We're going to keep our face closed a little bit more. All right. And when I get set up, I play the ball either in the middle of my stance or slightly forward, and I try to put a little bit more weight on my left leg and keep it there. This will help me hit down into the ball more. Okay, if I'm back here on my right foot, I'm going to hit up on it. So I want to get forward and hit down on it. All right, and we'll just try to hit one out here.
It's in the hole.
How about that? Nice little shot.
And it rolled out a little bit, but you know, I'd say that was pretty average for what I'm trying to do. It went right at the hole. You can see I didn't have any trouble sculling it or anything, and I followed through. And that's really the key to the stroke. If you stop your swing here, the ball's not going to get out of the sand. And you'll have to hit it and hit it and hit it, and eventually you'll pick it up and throw it on the green.
The hand wedge.
You got one of those in your bag?
If nobody's looking.
All right, our guest today is Dave Sattler. Brian Earls is our golf professional. We're at the Golf Club of Coldwater. You're watching Hitting the Greens. Dave and I will be in the sand when we come back. Back here on Hitting the Greens from the Golf Club of Coldwater, brought to you by the Foundation Golf Center and the Golf Club of Coldwater. Dave Sattler is our guest. Brian Earls is our golf professional, and we are ready to get out of the sand. Now we're gonna have Dave take your lesson that you just talked about, and he's gonna get out of the sand, you give you a little evaluation, then we'll turn around and I'll do it from the left side, and we'll go from there.
Sure.
All right, you ready to roll?
I'm on, baby.
Been in the sand?
On a regular basis.
Okay, so first I guess, what about grip-wise? That's one of the things, you know, people have different grips. They have the baseball grip, they got the interlocking grip. What would you suggest?
I would just use your normal grip from any situation in the sand. You don't want to overcomplicate things and have a second or third grip when you're on the golf course. You use what you got because, as we know, it's so hard to change the grip and make those kind of changes to your golf game. So just use what you have, and then we'll make the adjustments when you go to hit the shot.
All right. All right, make sure he gets all lined up, right?
Let's see what Dave's doing.
So he got it in the front of his stance?
He's got a little bit back in the stance. I'd probably move him back forward. And I'd also have you try to set up on more of a line along this angle. So you're a little bit more open to your target. Good.
Okay. Weight on the front foot.
Keep your weight on your front side and just try to make a swing down into it with a follow through. Good. So what you saw there was a shot that went too far, okay? So you can see you've generated a lot of club head speed. You hit down just like I did, but your ball went a lot further because you had more swing speed.
Okay.
So now if you make the same type of motion, all right, with a little less speed, then you'll be able to pop it out and hit it into the right position. So try to play it again. Middle of your stance to forward, open up your feet a little bit, and swing about half as hard as you just did there, Dave.
Now is he going to try to get more sand, Brian? Or?
No, make the same swing, just adjust how hard he swings at it.
I can't wait for the challenge. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Of course, I have not hit, and neither one of us warmed up before we got out of here. So that's true. I'll give you a little bit of a break, but we're going to have you try probably one more, don't you think?
I want him to try one more. I can't leave that.
You can't be failing as a golf professional.
That's right.
What did he do wrong there? Did he not get enough?
To me, he's sitting on his back foot, swinging through like here. Okay.
I got to try to get more front foot.
You got to swing down into it and stay down onto that front foot. Yep. Keep your weight to your left leg there. Really hit downward motion towards the ball. There it is.
Almost in the hole. I tell you right now.
What a professional.
Third time's the charm.
All right, so that's Dave's shots, and his third one, obviously, like we just talked about, very good. You're watching Hitting the Greens. When we come back, we're going to flip it around, and we'll do it for all you left-handers out there, so stay with us. Back here on Hitting the Greens from, ready? Back here on Hitting the Greens from the Golf Club of Coldwater. Again, our PGA professional, Mr. Brian Earls, and our semi-professional, but a professional at the City of Coldwater, Dave Sattler. All right, so we saw Dave's, his third one really looked good. That was a good shot and everything like that. So now we're gonna do it from the left side, so we're gonna move you out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna play it a little bit to my front foot, right?
Yep, slightly forward to your right foot for left-handers.
And
you're gonna want to aim.
am I gonna aim to the right then?
Yes, absolutely.
So then I'm gonna open just a shade?
Yes, you are. That's perfect, right there where you're at.
Okay.
Dig your feet in a little bit. Try to put about 60, 70% of your weight on your right leg and just hold it there so you swing down into the ball. Real nice.
He's a natural.
I've been on the sand many times before. What are you talking about?
Well, everybody I've heard said you're a real sandy.
Oh my goodness, did you write that this morning?
No, Ryan whispered it in my ear.
Oh, God.
Okay, is that pretty good then, Brian? Or?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. You know, you made a nice stroke, you accelerated into the ball and popped right up on the green. Even better.
Right.
Okay, there's your third one. Oh, you think you got a challenge going, huh?
I think why don't I just use these for the challenge? That's what I'm thinking right now.
Well, I want the pressure on. This is just practice. I mean, it's like going to the driving range and striping it.
Oh, baby, I may be ready. Of course, as you said, when the challenge happens, that's a whole different ballgame.
That's right. I've seen you in action. Are you a money player? Or just a player?
I'm a money, well, I don't know. Okay, so now it's time for our Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge, but before that, we're going to take a little break. Brian, is there anything that I could have done better, done different, anything like that?
Well, sure. There's 100 different things you could have done better and different, but there's several different things you could have done differently. But in the long run, as much as you play golf, which isn't very often, for you to be able to hit that type of shot that well, you got to be extremely happy with what you did. So yeah, you don't look like Phil Mickelson coming out of the bunker. But we don't expect you to. Not yet, at least.
What about Bubba Watson? I want to be Bubba Watson. I like his name.
Yeah, you be Bubba.
Hang on.
We'll just call you Bubba.
Hang on. All I'm happy about is that we got Dave back from the other fairway after his one shot. And so now we got 3 shots to the hole. Now you know how to do it.
Right.
You ready to roll?
Yep. And I'll let you go first so I know what I have to be.
That's not how it works. Well, we'll alternate shots. We'll alternate.
Well, Daryl can. He's going to have to move into camera because you hit from the wrong side.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't, we'll see.
What do you think, Brian?
Alternate.
Okay.
Alternate.
That's what the professional said.
There we have it. All right. Our golf challenge is coming up, and Dave has a chance to win some prizes from the Golf Club of Coldwater. I'm Tim Hart. Brian Earls is our PGA professional. Of course, Dave Sattler, the city professional. You see him driving around all over the city of Coldwater. We're not quite sure, although the one day I did see you working because you were on your walkie-talkie or your phone, so he's working out there hard, just so the city manager, Jeff Budd, knows.
That's right.
I'm giving you a little plug.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, stay with us. We got Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge coming up after this. Time now for rules of the game here on Hitting the Greens. Nancy Chapman is our golf pro, and today we're talking about a lateral water hazard, and we've got a number of options to go from here.
We do. There's actually 5 options on a lateral water hazard. Now, to determine that this is actually a lateral water hazard versus a water hazard is indicated by our stakes and or lines. Lateral water hazards are red, water hazards are yellow.
Okay.
So we're at a lateral water hazard here, which gives us 5 different options to choose from. Your first option is to always play the ball as it lies. Okay, so with that, one thing we always want to remember is we don't ground our club when we're inside the hazard, okay?
I'm not grounding it right now. So I could conceivably just kind of punch this thing right out. And now, am I taking a stroke if I do that?
You would not be taking a stroke if you played it as it lies without grounding your club.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But as a right-handed player, we probably wouldn't be able to
You'd be
hit
out
the
of
shot.
luck.
So that being the case, my first choice after playing it as it lies would be to go back to where I last hit from. So that would be back up at the teeing ground where we hit that shot from.
All right, and that would be taking a stroke.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. The second option is to take the flag stick, the point where it crosses the margin line, and go as far back as you want, as long as you're keeping the hazard between you and the green. Okay.
All right.
So before we ever lift a golf ball, we mark it first.
Okay.
Now, watching the drive come down, I believe it came in at this direction. So we're gonna find our margin line by looking from stake to stake down there.
Okay.
And know that in this area, it crossed the margin line. So you're gonna put a T there.
Okay.
As a mark. Now, you get to go back using the flag stick, that T, you may walk back as far as you'd like.
And so anywhere back here, then I can drop.
Anywhere, as long as it's in that right path.
Okay, and so arm out, just like this, shoulder leg, and drop. Ready to roll.
That's it.
Okay, so that's the option there. What's the next option?
So that was the second option. The third option would be to, or fourth, I'm sorry, is to take where you marked that there and take 2 club lengths. So let's say, we didn't have this easy, nice shot heading down our way. You could take 2 club lengths outside of your hazard, no closer to the hole, and take a drop.
Okay. All right.
So take your longest club if you'd like.
Okay, and we'll go here. And then here. And then mark.
We'll mark the end of that. Pick your club up. And then we drop within that. As long as the ball hits the ground within the 2 club lengths and then rolls out, you can play it as
And you're
it
dropping
lies.
like this. We're not dropping like this.
Right. It's got to be a straight drop
Yeah,
from
you
the
hear
shoulder.
that? Don't bend the rules out. Now, here we go. Just like that, so I'm good to go.
Good to go.
All right, so I've taken a stroke, and now I can hit from here.
Now you may hit from here.
What's my next option?
Your next option would be the one that probably most don't know about, and that's going to the opposite side of your hazard, equal distance from the hole. Okay, so on our pond like this, you know, if this tree was a little bit bigger, let's say we don't want to hit over this tree. If I go to the other side of this hazard, I can do the exact same thing of taking the club lengths and dropping over there and have no obstruction in my way. Now, as long as you're not slowing up play, okay? So there's pretty convenient over here. I could get there pretty quickly, but if it's gonna slow up your play, you're not gonna do that.
Okay, and you're still taking a stroke.
Yes.
All right, so that's your options on the lateral water hazard. Nancy Chapman is our golf rules guru. Is that what they're calling you now?
That's what I hear.
All right, and you're watching Hitting the Greens. We've got more after this. Time now for the Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge and the best part of the show, Dave. Brian Earls is our PGA professional. Brian, what are we gonna do here?
Well, we've got a real exciting challenge set up for you guys today. Dave and Tim are gonna alternate shots from the sand. They're each gonna get 3. The closest to the flag out of all 3 shots will win.
All right, and so you can win some prizes out here. Now you want me to go first? You want to go first?
I want you to go first. I want no pressure on you.
You want no pressure?
No pressure on you. Yep. I want to, you know, that's all. No pressure. When you go first, the green's open.
And Brian, just so you know, because I know you are a PGA professional, and I know that you follow the rules of the game, all the etiquette. In this particular challenge, anything goes except for saying, hey, Dave, and shaking him or anything like that. So I could talk through his backswing. I can talk about his approach. I can do everything, just so you know, okay?
Sure.
You can do the same thing to me. Of course, you're kind of a quiet guy, aren't you?
I am very quiet.
All right, here we go. We'll get our first shot up. Now can I...
Hey, pan the audience.
Pan the audience. Oh, we've got the mayor of Coldwater out here. Make sure that Dave Sadler is working. I'm sure he is. Okay. And then Brian, no tips here. You just get to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You got to practice what you learned.
That's right. I'm opening my stance. I'm digging in.
Wow.
I'm leaning forward.
Looks like your feet are. How heavy are you, Tim?
Pretty dang heavy. Oh.
Look at the pressure's on.
Well, you came over to my zip code.
Well, I'm just trying to make you feel good, Tim.
I appreciate that, Dave. Dave's trying to make you feel good since it's...
You know, I might not ever get asked back. You're the host.
That's right. All right. I'm gonna dig in. I'm getting serious now.
See, I didn't dig in, so that extra ½ an inch made a difference. Noonan. Noonan. Good play, Tim.
Oh, hang on. Stop. I'll tell you right now, that's a little bit of pressure. Not a lot, but a little. Dave Sadler, ladies and gentlemen. He's a Lions fan. They finally made the playoffs. Dave will be delivering soon, I believe.
I learned this from Pete Dorr.
Dave Sadler. Shh, quiet now. Oh,
Pretty good, Dave.
not bad,
Pretty
Alex.
good.
Hey, it's on, baby.
It's on. That's exactly.
Well, and then what we'll do is we'll take the 2 closest ones and putt it in and confirm it, because I know I can putt better than you can.
Oh, that's not the point.
I know.
That is not the challenge.
No, the point is to get up and down out of the sand, isn't it, Brian?
Well, no, it's closest to the pin.
Well, I mean, in the real
in the
scope
real
of-
life, sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get it close enough to make the putt.
He's trying to give himself an out before his 3rd shot.
I don't know.
That's sad.
That's
Well,
not confidence.
I'm already closest, so the pressure is on you.
Well, I'm just trying to let you win something.
Well, thanks, Tim. Why don't you choke up a little bit more? Oh, that's right, because you're closer to the ball than I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Noonan.
Oh,
Is that your 3rd shot?
a bomb.
Touch them
I
all.
should go with my practice shots. We're just going to use my practice
You
shots.
know what they say when you're playing in a real game and that happens?
What's that?
Touch them all.
Come on, let's see what you got.
I'm already closer, aren't I,
I
Daryl?
don't think you are. See, I topped it. That was my problem. I got all nervous. Just like you're going to get nervous. Look at that. Unbelievable, right? No, Daryl, it didn't get on his sand. Hang on. At least I got it up over the lip.
I knew you couldn't handle the pressure, too.
I could not handle the pressure. In the practice, I put it right up there, Brian. And then I kind of sculled it a little bit and did get under. I didn't get enough sand up there.
Well, your weight was shifting back to your left leg on your backswing. So if you keep it all forward, then you can keep that downward hit. But when you shift it back, then you're swinging up on it. That's why you're sculling it a little too far over the green.
Well, Dave said if I would just let him win, that he would take me out golfing and try to show me how he does 18 holes. Is that right?
That's right. 18 holes and a few liquid beverages.
I like it a lot. All right, so our winner of the golf challenge, I'll bow down to you, Dave. He got me by a good foot there, but we should have used his practice shots. If you watch his practice shots, come on now. Brian, thanks as always. What a great deal.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Brian.
Dave, good work.
Brian Earls, our PGA professional here at the Golf Club of Coldwater and also at the Foundation Golf Center. If you're looking for a lesson, you can check in with Brian and Gary and Dean out there at the Foundation Golf Center, and they'll get you all set up. Obviously, we need to go out there, don't we?
Well, he taught me pretty good.
There you go. Dave Sattler from the city of Coldwater has been our guest today, and thank you for watching this week's edition of Hitting the Greens. Oh, hang on there. When you do. Right.
Anytime. It's my third trimester.
Well, so we say, now how do you hit it if you're pregnant?
I don't know, Tim, show us.
Hang on, I think you got me there.
Center like this. Which way to the beach? Which way to the sand bunker?
Oh, dear.
All right.